Thank you. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you. Have you subscribed? Yes, you. Have you subscribed? You. Yeah, before you go, click. It's free. Click. Just that's it. Have you subscribed? You are laughing. Have you subscribed? Have you subscribed? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Hey, madam, thank you so much. I can see you. I can see you. We have to get to 100,000 subscribers. This by the end of the year. How are we going to do that if you don't subscribe? Yes, you. Yes, you're about to click off. Why? Have you subscribed? It's free. If you don't, ask your son, ask your daughter how to. Just one click. Thank you. Thank you. I see you. Aha. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you. Have you subscribed? Yes, you. Have you subscribed?
And tonight, this gentleman will be making his network television debut. This is his most recent album right here. It's called Spirit of Love. We're very pleased to welcome Majek Feshek.
Arise from your sleep, Africa. Rise from your sleep, America. There's work to be done, Africa. There's work to be done, America. But if we unite, we will be free. So long, too long, so long, too long. We've been sitting down for so long. We've been fooling around for too long. We've been sitting down for so long. I and I've been fooling around for too long. So long, so long, too long, too long, so long, for too long, too long. Hey. Remember, long time ago, when we used to live like prince and princess. Remember, the pyramid of Egypt, when we used to live like prince and princess. Remember, Marcus Garvey, who are the dream for New America. Oh, remember, Martin Luther King, the dream for New America. They say you are black, they say you are brown, they say you are black, they say you are brown. Only the angels of Jah is white now. Only the angels of God is white. So long, too long, so long, too long. We've been sitting down so long. We've been a fool around for too long. Arise from your sleep, Africa. Arise from your sleep, America. There's work to be done, Africa. So much work to be done, America. But if we unite, hey, we will be free. So long, too long, so long, too long. Pressing down for so long.
Mike. Can you please confirm for me that you can hear me now, please? I will thank you for bringing that to my attention. For those of you watching, can you confirm that you can hear me? Hello, please, if you don't mind. Can you confirm that you can hear me now? Is there sound now, please? Hello? Well, you still cannot hear me? I can't hear you now. Okay, thank you, Chibuz Agro. Thank you for that. It's 12 minutes into it, so I practically have been talking to myself. Thank you very much, those of you in the comment section. I didn't realize that the sound was actually cut off from the settings, so my apologies for that. So I'm gonna go back all over again and start. The topic is the statement based on the statement Aisha Yusuf made, which is Nigerians in diaspora are foolish for not sending money home, yet have zero political power or influence over the political spectrum in Nigeria. And that's the argument. We are looking at the claim that she made, and we'll try to avoid those. So the question is before us is if those in diaspora stop sending money home, how will it change or affect the political spectrum or the political space in Nigeria? Google search gives about approximately 1 million Nigerians in diaspora that are home. Not every one of them send, but for argument's sake, 1 million Nigerians in diaspora send money to 1 million Nigerians back at home or more. But for argument's sake, I want to push the figure to 5 million. Just for argument's sake. I push the figures to 5 million. So 5 million Nigerians in diaspora sending money home. Should they stop? How will this change affect the political spectrum in Nigeria? Will these 5 million in Nigeria rise up when they don't get this money and say, you know what? We need to now take Nigerian matters seriously. Like I said before this issue of volume, most of us should understand that this money are sent to friends, to families and friends, and not to governments. Again, it sends to family and friends and not to government. Some to business, those that have business in Nigeria, they send this money there. If they stop sending this money, will Nigerians rise up and start to challenge their leaders and hold them accountable? That is the argument that we're going to have this afternoon. Now, the phrase foolish is defined. I highlighted it earlier, which is here the quality of being unwise, stupid, or not showing good judgment. It sounds offensive in this regard, but let's try to not take offense in this, that sending money home to families and friends is not showing good judgment. Prior to this, I ponder on it. The issues in Nigeria, we have issues of insecurity, we have issues of poverty, we have issues of employment, we have absence of electricity. If all these issues have not challenged Nigerians or the 5 million people that we send money to, is it when this action is taken of stop sending money, we challenge Nigerians to rise up, the 5 million. The country is approximated to be, the population of the country is approximated to be 220 million. So this 5 million, yes, they can change the the political space if they want to. But is it because of that money they will change it? This is where she should, hopefully, opportunity will be given to her to provide clarification as to that. If she was in diaspora, would she say hold the same position? I doubt it if she's going to hold the same position. If she has an aged parent and she has brothers and sisters in the country, she has a husband and a child in the country who are dependent on her, would she hold the same position? And we must not forget that the issue of voting, or those in diaspora not being allowed to vote, didn't start today. It started, it's been there from time memorial. And she has participated in election campaigning and hasn't taken this matter up with any legislators to say, listen, those in diaspora should be allowed to vote, should be allowed to go to the consulate, Nigerian consulate in abroad, and and cast their vote. This was not done by her, or has she gone to her own constituency to say these people must be allowed to vote? During the 2023 election, a lot of diaspora sent money to our principal, Peter Obi. Why was the money not rejected? Why did the principal not rise up to say, you know what? No, we want you guys to vote, not your money. So these are the issues. She's correct when she said we have influence. We have strong political power, though zero in Nigeria. We can influence things. I've said this before that those in diaspora, we sit in a privileged position at this very moment. And the one way we can influence things is by what? By media campaigning, by pushing on media campaign, sensitizing the Nigerians back at home. So if we can push for this, then it will go a long way to help issues. But to stop sending money back to families and friends, in my opinion, I don't think that will ever work. We can push them to say, listen, it's time you start to invoke Section 68 and Section 110 of the Constitution. In yesterday's broadcast, Sid did highlight, other panelists did highlight that ordinary citizens can write a petition or can request or can make for an amendment of a bill or of the Constitution or electoral law. But is it by not sending money home that will change this? And we can give it a try. There's nothing beat a failure but a try, as they always say. And like I said, I hope she will one day provide clarification in this regard as to what she meant, because a lot of people took it personal and will challenge her at a certain point. At a certain point, she will demand, I mean, the next election is coming, then they will call on person diaspora as well to contribute to what? To their campaign. So if the money is sent to families or is being asked, we stop sending money to families and friends. Should we send money to people's desire or ambition, political ambition? Because money is money. It has to be across board. It has to be practiced across board, not just not to send money to family and friends. I'm going to stop sending money to any political person who says, "Oh, your money will go a long way to help to change things." No, allow me to vote. But this money is not being sent to the government. Maybe she failed to realize that. It's sent to family. Yes, government get the banks takes their own charges or whatever it takes, but it's sent to individuals who need it. A few days ago, they said some 100 Nigerians, I mean, young ladies above 18, will be given out in marriage to what to alleviate poverty. So you can see the foolishness that we practice there. How can giving people out into marriage alleviate poverty? You can see the thinking we operate in. So if this is the thinking we operate in, when are we ever going to get it right? Then how would you do such a thing? How does that alleviate poverty when you give people out into marriage to rich men? You're selling them off. That is not marriage. That is what? That is another form of slave trade within our own circle that we practice. So I am against that idea that we should stop sending money home to families and friends because they need it. Your aged mother, your aged father, your sisters and brothers who are there, they all need it. Those who have business all need it as well too. Those who have medical issues, you have to look at everything, not just one thing. The hospitals will not, most hospitals will not attend to you if you don't have the money. So if they call on you and say, oh, your father or your mother is being rushed to the hospital, what will you tell them? Go and meet Aisha Yusuf because she has said we should not send money home. She's over there, she's gonna come to our aid and send and address this issue. Are we going to look at just one thing and base our argument on that, our final decision on that? So we have to be careful. I keep saying this. One thing about YouTube is things are always on record. It will be played back 50 years to come from now, particularly when you want to vie for an office. You made this comment 50 years ago that those in diaspora are foolish. For what? For sending money home to families and what? And friends because they don't have political power in Nigeria. So, hallelujah. I don't, you said when someone wants to loot, they have to come up with ideology that may not make sense. They just want to loot. Well, the issue is not about looting right now, even though the point you made is taken on board. The issue is this, which I think I will appreciate if you can comment on, is it? Are diaspora foolish for sending money home to friends and family just because we are not, it's not in the constitution for those Nigerians in diaspora to vote? That is the issue here now. It's not that we are not being allowed to vote. It's not enshrined in either the constitution or the electoral law. So should we push for it? The answer is yes. It's good to push for it. But should we stop sending money home as a form of how do you call it, protest? Should we stop sending money home as a form of protest that those in diaspora should be allowed to vote? That is the issue. So if this protest, let's say we take up this protest to stop sending money home, will it change anything? And I did highlight some facts there. We have unemployment rate is high, the roads are bad, no electricity. This has not triggered any kind of form of revolution within Nigeria there. So This 5 million approximately is less than Google search says about 1 to 2 million Nigerians and diaspora. So if we stop sending, then will it help anything? You respond and say, we are talking about the billions to be spent in marriage. It is a ludicrous move. This educates me, please, because really, sure, they covered this topic yesterday, but I was not chance to watch it. Who is responsible for sponsoring this marriage? Who is paying for it? Is it government initiative or the Muslim community initiative? I don't know. I've not listened to it. I think the video is here. I'll probably play the video in line with this. You said send. So I don't know what you mean by that. Who is responsible? Who is financing this marriage, this so-called project? Is it those in diaspora sponsoring it, or the government, the states, or the Muslim community that is sponsoring this marriage to alleviate poverty? And how can this alleviate poverty? I really don't understand the sort of mentality we have. So the protest is not to send money home. Yesterday also, some in the comment section were saying that we should hold the current government accountable rather than talking about 2027. And I keep wondering, how can we do that? How can the ordinary citizen on the road right now hold the present government accountable, either on a state level or federal level? How can we hold that government accountable? So the government is the one spending the money. Thank you for that, hallelujah. Well, that will not come as a surprise if it's the government spending money. And if that's the case, then you are right. It's another way of what of wanting to loot the money. But this money that is going to be spent on them getting I'm going to play the video. Maybe I will understand better. Let me play the video. The video is here. I asked my brother show not to delete it. So let's play the video. Let's see. It's on Channels News. I think this is a video.
School, both school, those that have finished secondary school, they could enter an open university while they're doing their businesses. Or we get a job for them and while they're doing their business, when they're going to school. Then those that have not finished secondary school, we go back to school, finish secondary school, and the same thing will be applicable to them. Going for open university to open university and equally having something to do. Like this POS, those that have finished secondary school that are above 18, we could allow them to start earning money while they are going to school.
Are you leaving them in that community, or you are bringing them out of the community?
That is what Emir said he will get back to me in a few days.
Okay.
So that we will know how to get these people together and have a talk, how to partner. But the important thing is that we agreed on that day to partner. The speaker, he was quite nice when he came to my office.
Minister, this perhaps are taking your attention.
Yes.
And there are those who will wonder that.
But the case is not yet withdrawn.
Okay.
I want to make that clear. How do I withdraw case in a day? Well, before I even withdraw the case, we have to go back to court and then tell the court that we have settled. We are withdrawing the case. Are you understanding?
Oh, you're not withdrawing. How
can I go and withdraw? We're still trying to organize ourselves on how to partner well and get these problems sorted out.
At the expiration, because the injunction will expire, if it's, I don't know which court we went to now.
High court.
If it's High Court, Federal High Court, isn't it? Maybe that's about 14 days or thereabout.
14 days.
14 days for the Federal High Court. For the State High Court is 7 days. So it will expire in 2 weeks or in another week.
In another week, yes.
So what happens afterwards?
I filed a motion ex parte. I equally filed motion on notice. Why did I do that? Before I met with my brothers and we decided to make peace. I filed it because when motion ex parte, by the time motion ex parte will expire, by that time, they must have gotten their 7 days to file their response. But if I didn't get the motion expertise, the wedding could go on before they will be able to file. And the whole thing must have been overtaken by event.
So you are really ready. Your hands are on the plow on this one, and you're not taking your eyes off.
Yes, but like I said, we discussed peace. We dialogued.
But
we agreed that the wedding will not go on, and that we all will come together, empower these children, make a lot of inquiries concerning their ages, which I am even ready to go for bone marrow test, if need be. Then whoever are the people they will bring that are the girls, we will make sure they agreed, of which I will want to have a one-on-one discussion.
I'm going to play this video for the second time again. I should have. There is, looking at it from a legal point of view, please permit me again to play it again. Thank you very much.
Both school, those that have finished secondary school, they could enter an open university while they're doing their businesses. Or we get a job for them, and while they're doing their business, when they're going to school. Then those that have not finished secondary school, we go back to school, finish secondary school, and the same thing will be applicable to them. Going for open university to open university and equally having something to do. Like this POS.
All right. I think I get where she's coming from now. And I think where she's coming from actually makes sense. Because truly and truly, giving them out in marriage at an early point in life will not alleviate poverty. Rather, it will push them more into poverty. They need to be empowered to overcome this issue. Now, Soji, thank you for joining. Hallelujah, you said send money, but create a job with it. Don't give it free. Either you send them to schools to keep it clean or to the community to keep it clean. Then you send the money as a payment. Yes, you can do that, but how about to your parents? Do you stop sending money to your parents? Let's assume you have aged parents. Do you stop sending money to your parents? What about your brothers and sisters who are in school and cannot afford to pay the school fees? Do you stop sending money to them? Please, if you don't mind, could you answer that question for me, please? You said that is how you diverted your own money. So can we conclude that you don't have age parents, or you don't have anyone looking up to you or looking up to you for financial assistance back in Nigeria? Soji, you said what's going on here? What's going on here? The main topic is the Aisha statement that Nigerians should stop sending money home, or those in diaspora. Nigerians in diaspora should stop sending money home as a result of having a zero political power in Nigeria, even though the money sent home, it's powerful. The government, whatever profit they get from it, it helps them. And if we stop sending this money, maybe it will change. It will trigger this revolution, the people's revolution against the government. But my argument is this: if I put it right, is that if the absence of electricity, the bad roads, the unemployment, the poor healthcare system, and the whatever you can think of it, if it has not gingered Nigerians uh, to rise up, and what how would this how will stopping sending money home to approximately 2 million Nigerians, from 2 million Nigerians in diaspora to 2 million, let's say it's the same figure, to 2 million Nigerians in Nigeria, how will it help the political space in Nigeria? You said, hallelujah, parents are automatic. Thank you for that. Yeah, parents are automatic. So, meaning that that argument that to stop sending money home, to you, it's a no. Could you confirm that? Hallelujah. Again, thank you for those of you that joined me. And my apologies for the voice, the volume at the earlier point. I didn't realize that you were not hearing me. Thanks for bringing it to my attention. So, the issue is, Soji, you said, what's your take on that issue? Will you stop sending money home because so that you can have that? Will it make any difference if you stop sending money home? That question to you, Soji. If you stop sending money home, will it make any difference in Nigeria? If you can answer that question, please do answer that question for me. So that is what she said. But the Peter Obi campaign that she supported, she campaigned for, accepted money from those in diaspora. It was not an issue then. This money was not an issue then. It was needed then. The diasporans were not foolish then, or were not considered as foolish. Were not considered as foolish then. But now, the diasporans are considered as foolish because only God knows because of why. And trust me, I hope it doesn't come back to bite her. That is all my prayer for her. I hope it does not come back to what? To bite her. Because Peter Obi is going to campaign again. 2027 is around the corner. There's a coalition and alliance is going on. They will need the money from diaspora without a shadow of doubt. And let's see if she's going to ask the diasporans to contribute to what? To that campaign. If she will ask the diasporans to contribute to what? To that campaign. Thank you, Hallelujah, for your response. So please drop in your comment or your position in respect to this argument. Should Nigerians in diaspora stop sending money to families and friends in Nigeria? Should they stop it? What happened to Section 68 and Section 110? Why can't they campaign on this? Why can't they push for this? I know we in diaspora can equally push for that. We need the people on ground to do that. But is it the money that will change? Though they say money has its own way of changing things. So maybe we never can tell. So we have to put it to the test. If all diasporans will agree for the remainder of the year, we stop sending money home to families and friends. We're going to run a poll on that. I'll run a poll on that next week on this same issue because it's a serious matter. We must not dismiss it. So we'll run a poll on it as to should Nigerians in diaspora stop sending money home to Nigeria by Aisha Yusufu. If it will help. If it will help, it's a good thing because it's all about solution. And we have to test every solution provided. We test our solution too. We test every solution. We test the solution of Section 68 and Section 110. That will be tested as well too. So all solutions must be tested. I use the word must be tested, whether we agree on it or not. We test it because we don't know which one is going to work. With the way things are, we don't know. Thank you, Soji. You said that we can't stop supporting our friends and family back, especially when it is needed. My issue yet again, the government who is not my partner. My issue is yet again the government who is not my partner and who have never. Okay, that's an incomplete statement, but we'll go with the first one. Partnered who have never partnered. The people now want somehow to eat out of the direct transaction between me and my family. Uh, Soji, you will agree with me that the government is not eating directly from it. It is everywhere in the world. When you make certain transactions, they charge you fee for it. Even in the UK that you have. Even in the UK that you have, when you make, I mean, the banks charge you for what? For maintenance fee. When you do a transaction, okay, they charge you. When you send money to any part of the world, whether to the United States or to the United Kingdom or to Canada, or you do a transaction, the banks charge you. It's a set rule everywhere in the world. Tell me which country, which country in the world does not charge its citizens for what? For transaction. They do. So that transaction will work. What they do with that transaction is another thing. It's another thing to be discussed. What they do with it, but these charges always takes place. It doesn't matter. So every country benefits from it. Every government benefits from it. So Nigeria is not an exception. This is what one thing I don't want us to think is this. I think we want to be treated differently. We want things to work differently with us. No, it ain't gonna happen like that. Government is not run like that. Government is run even by the levies that comes in, the tax and everything, the duties. That is how government runs the country. Any country that you see that is actually working, the government takes the duties and the tax and they put it back into the system. Now, some don't put it back into the system like Nigeria is. And that is why we experience what we're experiencing. So it's a common thing. And we must not live in denial of this. Now, that would not be fair to live in denial of this. The government don't do what they have to do in respect to what? In respect to the money they get. So next week, God willing, I will run a what? We will run a poll on this. Who is this? 2Y. Okay. My bank in the UK doesn't charge me for local transaction unless in cases over withdrawal, loans, savings tax, but main deposit and withdrawal attract no charges. 2Y, okay. They may not spell it out in respect to withdrawal, deposit and withdrawal. But could you confirm or deny that your bank charges you maintenance fee, account maintenance fee? Could you confirm that, please, if you don't mind? Could you also confirm or deny that some ATM machines charges you when you withdraw money? Could you please confirm or deny that? It's okay. The typo is necessary. We all make typographic error, but apologies. That's not. Don't worry about that. The best of us make typo error. I need you to confirm, please. In the UK that you said you are, do your bank charge you maintenance, account maintenance fee? Say yes or no. Answer, please. If you can, please. It's a yes or no answer. You say your bank don't charge you account maintenance. Some ATMs do charge fees. You don't mind me asking which bank is that? Please. Which bank in the UK don't charge you maintenance, account maintenance fee? You said they charge for what? For unless in case of over withdrawal, loans, saving tax, etc. But main deposit, which bank is that, please? Halifax. Okay. I am going to find out if Halifax doesn't charge maintenance fee. Because from the best of my knowledge, most banks, if not all, charges maintenance, account maintenance fee. And this includes anything and everything that has to do with your account. If the bank don't charge you account maintenance fee, how does it work then? How do they maintain this thing? It's the same in US. Transaction is levy free, but you pay the bank if you withdraw from a different bank. So that is the fee being charged. You pay the bank if you withdraw from what? From a different bank. So that is what? That is the fee they're charging. We just want the such as say we just want the so-called government to be seen to do the right thing. Nigeria say why is presently the wrong thing in completion. So yeah, I can agree on that, that everybody wants the government to do the right thing. But what I'm trying to say is that the issue of remittance back home and the bank charges, it's a normal thing. We should not condemn it. If you use whatever, it depends on what app you are using to send money home. Those who operate that app or whatever it is, they charge you either 1 cent or €1, $1, £1 as what? As a fee to send this thing. And they also remit to the bank as well. The government also charges the banks as well too. So this is normal. He said banks and government are two different entities. In what context are you making this argument, please? Is it in the argument of charging or not? In what context are you making this argument, Soji? You said banks and government are two different entities. In what context? In the context of money? If it's in the context of duties and tax, the bank and the government are not different because the banks pay the government duties as well too. That's money. In what context, Soji, are you making this argument? So in what context? Some banks are free, according to some banks, accounts are free, whereas some charge for better services. So, what are you suggesting, that the ones that are free don't provide better services? Well, you see the difference, that the ones that don't charge don't provide better services. I don't know what services you are referring to there in that regard. Is it that you don't get your money when you put it there? Yes, that is how government is run. You are right. Well, thank you very much for that. Soji, do you agree with Alleluia's this that it's all about money? The banks are ripping off the people. They are as criminal as the government. In the context of Nigeria, yes, the banks are ripping off people. Even the controversial levy, cyber levy that they want to charge, it's going to come. But if you know what the banks, Nigerian banks, charge its customers, you will certainly say this cyber levy is not worth it at all. At all, at all. Yeah, duties and taxes. Yes, they pay duties and taxes. The banks pay. I think every year, if I am correct, there is a government levy on your credit card and debit card. If I am correct, I'm not 100% sure of the debit card, but there is a levy, a government levy on credit cards every year. A once-off you pay, it goes out from your account. It's just taken. You don't have a choice in that. You don't have a choice in that. They take it. So according to from my quick Google search, could be higher overdraft. Google search on what? On the taxes and this. Yeah, I mean they charge you on overdraft. Not all banks charge, but most banks. Initially, overdraft was free, but now you pay. If you use it, you pay. You pay. That is just a fact. Once you use it, they start to charge you. You get a text message. Your overdraft now is this, that. We will start to charge you, etc. When if you don't quickly pay it up. So it's a normal thing. But what we're arguing here is for the money they collected to be used properly, to be used put back into the system, into what? Into education, healthcare, transportation, good roads, electricity, providing all these things. That is the purpose of paying people their pension. It's very, very important. Paying people their pension, it's very, 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 very important. In the service they provided, you said in the service they provide and charge you and tax. So these things are normal. All I'm saying is Nigeria is not an exception. So if that country is going to develop genuinely, these charges will be there. And we must be ready to pay it. What we are asking for, wishing for, praying for, hoping for is that when they pay it, when they receive it, they will use it properly. They will use it and not use it on themselves. They will use it and what? And not use it on themselves, not steal it, not loot it. And it is very sad when you see such things happening. But so no matter what we say or we do, please, we must not think that Nigeria is an exceptional country. No. Those who have made their system work apply these rules. Those who made their system work, the countries that have made their system work, apply these rules. And if we don't apply it, we ain't going to get there. Though we know the absence of transparency, accountability, fairness is there. Let's acknowledge that. We must not live in denial of that. And that is what is wrong with the country today. So, in respect to the main topic, Nigerians, please don't stop sending money homes to families and friends. Don't do that. Please don't do that. This is an admonition from me. Please. EFCC says the banking sector is responsible for 70% of financial crimes in Nigeria. Well, that doesn't surprise anyone. So, if the EFCC, if this is Wale Fatumbi, if this allegation is true, remember, if this allegation that the banking sector is responsible for 70% of financial crimes in Nigeria, they need to shed more light on it as to how. Is it that money laundering takes place there and they don't report it? Or is it that the case that it is the banks that takes people's money without their consent? So financial crime is a broad statement. So we need to narrow it down to what they do, what are the banks doing? Because you and I can be involved in financial crimes without working for the bank. Even the EFCC are criminals. I want to be. I I hope you have. I hope you don't let EFCC come and pick you, please. Uh, and don't let them come and pick. You see, the issue I keep asking is all the money that EFCC have collected or have recovered so far. What have they done with it? That is, I don't. Can they give account of the money they've recovered, the looted money they've recovered? Where is it? Who was it given to? Which system? Was it transferred to central bank or where are the money? This is what the citizens should ask Nigerians or Nigerian citizens should ask EFCC. You've recovered so much money from individuals and entities, but yet, where are the money? Where are the money? These are the questions we should be asking ourselves. Well, if Nigerians generally we don't like asking questions, or some of us get offended if someone asks us questions, even questions that are not personal. Fine, you can be offended if you ask me some personal questions, personal about my life. I can take offense. But when it comes to public issues, public matters, things that concerns the public, some of us still find it offensive when these questions are asked, or some in government find it offensive when these questions are asked. Well, this question, subject that you are asking, how many people in the current working environment in Nigeria actually pay taxes? I stand to be corrected, please. From my understanding, income tax is deducted automatically. From my understanding, income tax is what are deducted automatically from the wages. That is, so if you're coming in, you can please just turn on your camera, please. Then I'll bring you on the platform. You ask the question: how many in the current working environment they actually pay taxes? Working environment, income tax, corporation tax are two different things. They are all tax. Income tax, I believe, in the UK, like you are in the UK, it's deducted automatically from your wages. From your wages. You don't have a choice in that. You don't have a choice in it. And I think this is applicable in Nigeria. I think I have my pay slip back in Nigeria. I still have one of my pay slip back in Nigeria dating over 20 years ago. And I think tax was deducted, income tax was deducted from me. So if somebody can educate me on that or educate us on that in respect to income tax deduction in Nigeria, is this deducted automatically by the employee to the remitted to the government, or it's individual that pays responsibility? I don't think it's individual's responsibility, because if you leave that income tax to individuals to do it, guaranteed nobody will pay it in Nigeria. Now, the question will now be, when the employee deduct this from your wages, do they remit it to the government or to the relevant authority that they are supposed to pay this money to? Corporation tax. I think that is a responsibility of corporate entities to do that, because they to declare their profit and whatever they are due to pay in respect to that. Do all pay that? That is one thing, another argument that we are going to will have. So I don't know. For those of you who are sitting, I can't Google it because it's going to take a bit of my time, or the pause will be too long in the distance. So, but let me see if I can. Income tax payment in Nigeria. Income tax payment in Nigeria. So, who is responsible for this income tax payment in Nigeria? So, it's not giving me anything about Nigeria here. Depends. How can you calculate pay in Nigeria? In Nigeria, you can calculate pay based on the amount an individual earns. The pay rate progresses from 7% if your annual income is less than 300,000 naira to 24% if your annual income is more than 20,000 of unemployment taxable in the year. How is it paid? How is income tax paid in Nigeria? It is paid to the jurisdiction of the State Inland Revenue Service in the payer state of residence. Individuals who are in employment pay their taxes, which are deducted from their income through a system called pay as you earn. So, as you can see, Soji, as you can hear that, this income tax is what is deducted. So, the question you are asking, how many people in the current working current environments in Nigeria actually pay taxes? So, if they are working, they are paying taxes. Is automatically deducted from Google search. Is automatically deducted by what? By their employer. Individuals who are in employment pay their taxes, which are deducted from their income through a system called pay as you earn. This word is familiar to you, Soji. So that is the answer to your question. The next question is the percentage. The percentage is those who work pay, but we don't know if their employer remits this to what? To the inland revenue. That is another different game thing entirely. So there's a lot of work to be done to sensitize the system, to clean up the system. So if these things are done properly, we'll get to where we are going. But the question, and I want to put out a question here, a question that people has been asking. So if you can answer this question for me. I think Ferreira and some other people put this question yesterday during the broadcast. We are busying ourselves talking about 2027 rather than holding this current government accountable. So the question is, how can we hold this government, current government, accountable? I think it's better you put your comment in the comment section so that others can read it now, not in the private. Okay, you have it here. I put it to you, sir, that not more than 10% of the working population in Nigeria actually pay tax. Okay. May I ask you where you got your information from? Where this allegation you are making? Sorry for using the word allegation. Is it scientifically based? Do you have any evidence to support this allegation? Sir, I need you. Yeah, you said it is an estimated. You must be based your estimation on something. What do you base it on? What do you base this your estimation on? I'd like to know what you base this your estimation on. It's very important. Okay, because you are putting it to me and to my viewers, so I beg your pardon, to the viewers, that not more than 10% of the working population in Nigeria actually pay tax. That's a lot of figures you are putting out there. Not more than 10%. So, what do you base, or what are you basing your argument on? So, in your response, however, I base this on those who I know directly working and doing business in Nigeria and don't pay. See, there are two different things here, Soji. Don't let us mix it up. We are talking about those employed, working and earning salary. Those doing business is a different ball game entirely. I can agree with you that some that are doing business don't pay tax. It is up to them to declare their profits and declare so that the government can tax them accordingly. But the issue you raise first is based on income tax. Those who are working. Let me highlight it again, just for us not to get it mixed up. We must not get it mixed up. Let me see where you raise this issue up. You said how many people in the current working environment in Nigeria actually pay tax? And I think I asked for clarification. In the current working environment, actually pay tax. And you say that I put it to you that not more than 10% of working population in Nigeria actually pay tax. This population you are referring to are those who earn salary, who are paid salary. If that is the case, who are paid salary, you said tax, no tax, not tax. Of course, tax is tax, but we need to differentiate it. If tax is tax, then it should have one name, Soji. We should not have it, everything should be income tax. We should not have income tax, corporation tax, whatever tax you want to put it. They all have names, even though tax is tax. But the argument here is, are you claiming that those who are working don't pay tax? Well, 5th April 20th, the Christian Aid UK Nigerian program has said that less than 30% of taxable citizens in the country pay tax. This was reported by the Punch newspaper in April 2024. The Christian Aid UK Nigerian program has said less than 30% of taxable citizens in the country pay tax. The question now is, if less than 30% of taxable citizens in the country pay tax, what happened to the system? What I don't want us to do is to get this. You see, we need to stay in one place. If we mix it up, we're not going to get it right. We have to differentiate income tax from corporation tax. Income tax is where tax is automatically deducted from what? From your salary. Now, if there's a failure somewhere, is it the employer or the employee? This is where I think we are mixing it up here. The focus is what? Is income tax, which by definition, or I'm defining that, someone who works and gets paid salary. For example, I'm working, this is my work now. I'm a broadcaster now. I'm working for Dr. Damages, hypothetically. He's paying me $50 for every broadcast I do on record. So I do 4 broadcasts in a month, which is what? Which is $200. Whose responsibility is to do that deduction? Me or Dr. Damages? So now you are talking. It's the system. So, so the system is responsible for that. Employers are responsible to make this deduction and what transfer it to the relevant authority, not the employee that will do that. Let's get these facts correct so that we don't confuse those who come. Is this true confession? And it's a confession of what? True, okay. Is this true confession? Confession of what? What have you confessed, or what has Soji confessed? Point it out to it. I've not made any confession here. What am I going? In Germany, the taxes, like you said, Pastor, are automatically deducted from. It's the same thing in the UK. It's the same thing in Ireland. It's the same thing, I believe, in the US. I don't know about that in the US. These things are automatically deducted. You don't have a say in it. You don't have a say. The more you earn, the more you pay. At certain points, if you go over your normal distance, you pay 40%. Thank God that, like I said, this thing is recorded. I know it's a joke anyway. I said hypothetically, okay, assuming he's paying me $50 a week, $200 a month, and I do $50 for every broadcast, and I do 4 broadcasts in a month. So, who deducts that tax on it? So, if the tax $50, it has to be 10% or 2% for $50. Who deducts it? It's his responsibility, not my responsibility. You can't pay me, except there is a rule that says that the employee is responsible to what? To make this payment. Then it's a different thing. But they will never do that because they know most employees will not do that. So it is the employer's responsibility to make this deduction prior to paying that salary. Prior to. So Judah and William say in Italy it's the same. So in most countries it's the same all over the world. But why Nigerians want to be an exceptional country is what I don't understand. And we want to get things right. And we want to be exceptional. It ain't gonna work. That's just the truth. So thank you for those comments. Going forward, I would like to put this out there now, given to certain things that is going on. In most broadcasts now, there will be or the one I'm moderating, there'll be zero tolerance to verbal abuse. So I'll put it there in every broadcast I personally do, because it's becoming an issue where particular, even not just on the comment section, even those that will come on the platform, it doesn't matter who you are, what you are, there will be a zero tolerance to verbal abuse. Zero, zero tolerance to verbal abuse. It's becoming an issue, and we need to work on it. So any broadcast I am moderating on, there will be what I call a zero tolerance to verbal abuse. Either you're on the panel or in the comment section. We can make our argument without abusing one another. We focus on the argument and not the person. So I'd like to thank those of you who have joined this broadcast and provide this factual information. This is what we call every day is a school day here. Going forward, also every day on any broadcast I am moderating, it's a school day. We come here to learn with the hope that whatever knowledge we gain, we will apply it to ourselves within our society. The goal is to get Nigeria working. How can we? Soji, revolution. Dan. The goal
Dan,
is to get Nigeria working. How can we? So you have to mute. Okay. Dan, how are you?
I'm fine. I'm fine. Electricity. I'm always very impressed to join you anytime because you are like a very serious, straight to the point guy. You know. How are you today?
I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm fine.
Okay.
The issue. I mean, we've been talking about a lot of issues there, but I don't know if you've been following.
Yes, I've
But
been following.
okay. The issue is the main topic is the issue, the comment or the argument of Aisha Yusufu that
Yes.
you should stop sending money home. What's your take on that?
You know, Aisha Yusuf, I'm her fan. You know, to be honest with you, but she has made some comments also. The only thing I have against that, my sister, I don't have it against her, you know. But the only place she did something that sometimes I used to be angry with her and some other people was giving us Buhari because they don't like Jonathan. That's the only place. But what she said about Nigerians in diaspora, though she went to an extreme by calling us foolish, but no problem. I accept her view because she's also somebody like that. She will say it how it is. So I really understand her. I said it one time that if not only me, so many people in this our show has said it, that the only way the Nigerians living in Nigerians can react is when we stop sending money. Because most of them now they are relaxed. Oh, my brother go send monthly pay. They don't even hustle again. Talk less of say they go say make them protest for anything. Because money will come. You understand? So if she said that, if she makes that statement, she's right. She's right
Okay.
because
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. The percentage, the Google percentage of Nigerians in diaspora is approximately 2 million. Okay. And these 2 million, let's also argue that these 2 million are the same amount that receive the money in Nigeria. So if we stop sending this money, thanks for joining, Mr. Warren. If we stop sending this money, do you think this will trigger anything? They will now rise up and start to hold the government accountable. Don't forget, we have the issue of electricity. We have the issue of bad healthcare. We have the issue of bad roads. We have all these serious issue affecting almost 220 million Nigerians. And you think these 5 million, these 2 million, if we stop sending money, are capable of turning the ship around in Nigeria?
Let me shock you with one small thing before I answer that question. Let me just shock you. Do you know that there are some, not because of anything, no, I'm just saying something that is known. Do you know that there are some churches now, they ask people that they used to make a collection for people who have people abroad. Have you heard of that? Some churches, they say this collection now are for people who have people abroad to come and.
No, I've not heard that. That is a breaking news to me.
Okay, but I'm telling you, you can check it properly.
Nothing is impossible in Nigeria. I'm
okay,
not disagreeing with you.
Why I started there is to you to know that those remittances that come from abroad, a lot of people touch it. Not even the family, even there are some families now, if they know that you have a brother abroad and all of you in Nigeria are in the same level, suffering or whatever, they always come to you because they know the time you will go for that, maybe buy one bag of rice. They will know that it be like say their brother don't throw something. They will come the next day, I beg, give us something. So that money goes beyond the people it goes to directly. So that 2 million you are saying, just put it in just calculate it. How much you go send to family now? You get some kind of money, fear no go let you send them to Nigeria now. Because they will lambast you. Waiting be this, waiting you go buy. You know they hear waiting they happen for Nigeria. So if you not send anything at all, you'll be talking about $100 and above. So when you collect that $100 above, that is, I'm saying the minimum, $100 above where you go to send every month or weekly self in some cases. When you calculate that money, you will find out that money goes beyond the person directly. The person selling, the neighborhood who is selling something, they will get from inside. So just imagine if they stop it. If the 2 million people say, okay, we want reform in Nigeria, we want to change Nigeria. And don't forget, many great countries, when they changed was when the diasporans changed something. That was what changed the thing in their country to improve. So don't underestimate it. If those people in the diaspora stop sending money for just 2 months, Nigeria government will drop.
Mr. Wale, do you agree with that argument, please? Thanks for joining because this is a very
it's a pleasure. Electricity, first and foremost, before I go to that topic, we have something open between ourselves that we have not addressed for months. I have to apologize from my side because of the intensity of work that Egbon can even attest to it because of my work. But I want us to address to it because I really do have a solution to that issue of electricity point. So I lost your phone number because my cell phone got bad and I lost all numbers. So I've been depending on people messaging me so I can get back my old contact. That's the reason why you have not heard from me.
I think I have your number. Okay. I think I still have your number on my contact. So I'll rather text you.
I can put it in the private chat. Now to the issue, I have the same mind with revolution now. In fact, it probably was one of the reasons why I came in because I'm the one, as you know, that have been saying that the only way out for us in Nigeria is a revolution of the people. Now, talking on the topic about the diaspora, I have two different mindsets. Now, if we say we should hold back the help that we are giving, and it's not like we are all living as kings here. We are going through as the same thing is with you and the same with everybody, except for if we have millionaires amongst the diaspora. We are really going to our, we have families. Let me put it this way: we have families to fend for. We have different payments that we have to make here, and the little change that we have is not like little change that we send home. I'll give you a good example. Send money to someone, and I knew how I had to scratch the money together to send it to the person. And within the space of 2 weeks, this is money I already calculated in my mind should last him for months, even for the next 6 months. And he's telling me, bro, I have to give offering. I have to pay my tithe. You know, you know, you know, I was ordained. I was ordained by Pastor late Archbishop Ide Benson Idahosa. So they will not come and start preaching the Bible new to me. But for people like that, it got to even to a point that one was telling me, but now the wealth of the Gentiles are made. I said, you're not calling me a Gentile. The wealth of the Gentiles are laid up for the righteous. I was so angry that he asked me for months and months and months, and I was not sending anything, even if I could put money together to send. There were sometimes I had to even take loans for our people just because I know what they are going through. And what our sister is saying should not be misunderstood. Aisha, what she's saying should not be misunderstood. It's not like she's saying that we are stupid, or what she's trying to say is that, wait a minute. The only way Nigerians will probably wake up is when it really, really gets bad for them. The government is not helping them, and the other avenue which they have been taking for granted is closed. Then they now decide, okay, we have to do something. Since money is not coming from the diaspora. But like Revolution said, if we should try it, hell, nah, if we should try it, many will die. It is the truth. It is the truth. The money from the diaspora is helping
Do you
Nigerians.
think
Yes,
it's going
sir.
to trigger a kind of a revolution whereby the people now will now start to hold the government accountable? Because why she said it, she said, because we have zero power, but we have power, we are not using it. So if this money is withheld back, it will push the people to what? To now go after the government to say, no, fix the country. Do you think that is possible?
Well, it is possible, but people will suffer.
Okay.
People will suffer. The innocent will suffer. And we're talking among these people are children who do not have. We're talking about too many children involved in this case.
In this case, aged parents as well too.
Yes.
Are you talking about aged parents
The
who also
elderly.
require medical attention?
Let me give you a good example. I lost my uncle now. He's going to the 5th week or 6th week. And he was the only survivor of my dad's family, the only brother of my dad who passed in 2021. And it was the stress in Nigeria that killed him. It was the stress in Nigeria that killed him because his children, my cousins, were not doing anything with their lives, and they were just leaking and leaking and leaking the man. And the little money that we are sending, at least from the side of my cousin to him, they were being depleted. I do agree, it might just be the only way out. Because Aisha mentioned something. We are sending money endlessly, and the politicians in Nigeria are saying that we should keep our mouth shut. We don't have a right to vote. We're not voting. We don't have any voting power. It's not like the votes they've ever counted one vote in the diaspora. Even though in America, the Americans in diaspora are voting in the American political system, but we are not even doing so because they know that the diaspora are for let me give you a good example. Peter Obi would have won most of the votes in the diaspora. And the fact that they knew that they would never allow such a thing to happen because they will not be able to rig the votes like they will rig the votes at home.
Let
So
me
the
do a
diaspora have
pushback on that, Mr. Wale.
sorry, I will
P2P
drop.
is a one-off case. This issue of diaspora not being able to vote did not start in respect to the 2023 election. So I
I
don't think
agree
we
with
should
you.
make it a Peter Obi case. It's been there from time
Yes, I
memorial.
agree, but the diaspora had never been so vocal
Okay.
as it has
I
been
just want us to have that
in the
record
last
clear.
election. In the last election, the diaspora had never been so vocal about a change must be, because it's affecting all of us. It does not matter in what state we are living abroad, it is affecting all of us emotionally. Look at the kind of emotions we bring into the studio when we talk
To
to
this
you,
platform.
brother.
Yeah, I get it.
You know?
Now I'll come back to you, Mr. Wale.
Okay, sir.
I'll come back to you because there's some
Boy,
Soji,
it's your turn,
Augustine, welcome. Soji, so there's no electricity. I mean, how do I call it? Epileptic electricity. Bad roads. There was
As
supposed
I'm
to be
seeing you clearly, there must be electricity now.
bad health system. No employment. This and that. These things have not pushed Nigerians to go out and challenge or push revolution in the country. Why do you think when we stop sending money, the money is not sent to the government, like what Dan actually said? Even though it's sent to individual, it trickles around because they use it to buy something, and it's shared one way or the other. The prosperity is extended to other people. Why do you think this is going to make the difference?
Good afternoon to all. And I would like to join Dan in agreement that you have a particular style about your shows that taking the digestion of the polity. How are we digesting this information? Let's analyze it. I appreciate it a lot. I will begin by saying, you see, my brother, I don't believe Nigeria has ever had a government. I don't believe that Nigeria has ever had a true leader that has specified how leadership and the followership join to make Nigeria work. So by the time we speak about taxes, by the time we are in a position where our diaspora is sending the remits that are coming from across the world into Nigeria are more than anywhere else in the world. It's a phenomenon. We need to take understanding of these things. I used to work, it was my own company, UK Blacklinks. It was a Black Business Directory. And I came in contact with an individual by the name of Henk Elzinga, who was the head of Western Union Europe. And when I did the deal with him, he brought me into his office and showed me the transactions that were going in from Europe into different parts of the world. So he showed me America, he showed in remission and Western Union what's happening. He showed me Asia, different countries in the world, what's happening. And then he showed me Africa. If you see the traffic, the lights, deals just entering, this is what is keeping that country alive. We in the outside, sweating blood and tears, working harder than the next man to maintain ourselves in this country and to maintain villages, not individuals or villages back home. Now, the government has seen this themselves of late, because what I'm talking about was in the mid-90s when I was working with Western Union. So today we have somebody like Buhari popping up and saying, we want to chop out of this money of the North. When the North are in the diaspora, it's the people in the South that are in the diaspora. And the North, after eating our oil, after eating our blood, sweat, and tears, they want to eat from the diaspora of which they are not a part. My brother, I think sometimes when we look at data and we look at the information of the data and we don't know how to extrapolate the truth from the data that we are seeing, we're just fooling ourselves. We're pretending that we know what we're doing. We have no idea what we're doing, I'm afraid. We are living in a continual stupor We're just existing in order to maintain the status quo. I don't know how this comes across for you as an individual, but for me, my brother, I'm not a party to it. I'm trying to do what I can do for myself, for my family, for my nation. However, I'm going to enjoy this life regardless. And what I mean by that is I'm not putting every problem on my head and talking nonsense with the rest of my Nigerians to say how we're going to do it when none of us are behaving in a particular way that is solving any problem. So, in answer to your question, after that initial point, I'm putting to you that Nigeria has not begun, and we have to put that almost as a revolutionary point that we haven't begun in this country. We haven't. And what's going on is maintaining the hogwash imbalance of the Western polity in an African nation. And all our leaders have been licking the ass, excuse me, for if that's a bit too far, have been licking have been pursuing Western policies as opposed to looking at the peculiarity and the particular nature of what it is that we call Nigeria. We haven't begun.
Thank you very much. Mr. Austin, there is no doubt that Nigerians in diaspora will sit in a privileged position now and surely can influence change in Nigeria. Now, I just highlighted Ayokunle Adebisi's comment, lack of infrastructure, bad ecosystems, yet Nigerians place pre-image over that. I think was it 90 billion they said they're going to spend on the privilege. You see, if I want to stay away from religious and tribal, I want to stay away from it because it ain't going to take us anywhere. But the madness, like what he rightly said, we lack infrastructure, bad healthcare system, and yet we are spending this amount of money. So if this argument, if we are going to go accept what Aisha Yusuf said, which will be the truth, how do we go about it now to Nigerians in diaspora? Because if it's going to trigger that revolution, that change that we are looking for, how do we go about it? The floor is yours, Austin. Thank you. Before you go ahead, sorry, let me highlight something. Wale Fatunde highlighted the personal remittance received in Nigeria increased by 0.7 billion US dollars in 2022. In total, the personal remittance received amounted to 20.13 billion US dollars. That's a lot of money. Remittance are flows for money between migrants and their relatives. Okay, we'll get that. Then this last one. Nigeria recorded 282.61 million as total direct foreign exchange. Remittance in the first quarter of 2024. This is according to data obtained from the website of CBN on May 13. 282.6 million in the first quarter, not yearly, 3 months of the year. All right, Mr. Austin, the floor is yours. Thank you very much for joining.
Thank you. Sorry, you know what today is, and you know who I am. So I just kicked in when I saw you and saw my friends on the platform. So I'll just take care of so many things, then I'll rush for my activity today. But I want to make sentences to the two highlights you brought up. Remittances. When we talk about remittances and Nigeria data, do you talk about the money wired or the money individuals went into the country with? You know, this is one of the things I have not been able to capture. If I'm going home and I have $20,000 in my pocket, is it part of what they are calculating? Do we have a data to capture?
No, what you are calculating is what we can see on the system. That's a very good point you raised.
So,
okay?
yeah,
What you are calculating is what we are seeing on the system being transferred electronically. We are not looking at me carrying
the cash, the raw
2,000.
cash.
cash. We are not looking at that.
And you know how,
but that's an important.
And you know how our people, no matter the policy, the amount you have to travel with, you know how we travel with raw cash. So that's an aspect we also need to include. Then another point you mentioned, the problem I have is politicians keep bastardizing everything that should checkmate their ways of action. They've succeeded in bastardizing education. They are in bastardizing religion. And most of us are buying this idea. Religion has no problem. Like, religion is the only thing that has been favorable to us. But politicians are using it against us. Now, go back to this pilgrimage. Go and check the list of people that went on this pilgrimage. The true Muslim people who will go to mosques every Friday, who will try to obey their laws, will not be among these people. It will still be the son of the rich, those that do not even near the mosques. But now we are painting it religion and accusing the Muslim. But the sincere ones will not partake in this crime. So this is the things we also have to be careful when they play out these things for us to chew. And they give it to us and we destroy what should be using. Because I know growing up, it is in the church that we are taught to avoid corruption. Now, if you are going to church, people see you as a useless person because they have used few pastors, few religious people, and few church to play that link. There is nowhere you will not see people who are not authentic. So politicians use these things. We need to guide against it. Now to the meat of the topic about what Aisha said. People like Aisha, people like you, like there's a statement you made. And when people see what you say, they might be thinking that you're against Aisha, but you made a statement when you were trying to ask me a question, which entails that you are only seeing it from the point I'm seeing it. Aisha made a statement. He said, for now, what is in Nigeria is money, power. So he is identifying with diasporas. You guys got power. So if you use that power, if you see it only in money, now that is where you limit what she's saying. Okay, think about the number of buildings that are being erected by people in diaspora. If you take it off, many Nigerians will not have a place to be. Think about businesses that people in diaspora, and when you put up these businesses in Nigeria, you are only wasting your resources because nobody is giving you a balance. Nobody is giving you a profit. They are only going to use it to benefit themselves. So when people in diaspora cut short of all these things or become so critical in these things, it's going to check a lot. And the money you put in there, you're not just feeding 20 people. Look at the number of people you send to school. Look at the number of people you give accommodation. These are the things she is asking us to. If you are continuing doing this, let's be critical. Let us know how we do this. And this is where I'm looking at. I'm saying it from a holistic point. She's not telling you if you see somebody that is hungry, that you can't attend to the person. But you have a very big following. If you check your phone and check the list of people you send money to every month, and if you sit down and see what these people do, when I got home during election, I brought my people close. I told them that the cleaner in my office is richer than me. The person that distributes food on the hallway, they are richer than me, but their salary is not close to mine. But because they don't have any money to send, they don't have anybody to send money to. They don't have any bill. They don't have the money you send to Nigeria. If you send it in America, if you're filing tax, you know how much you will get. Because these things are called charity. And you should be able to get it back while you are filing tax. And that brings me to the point of tax. When people are giving you analysis of people that are paying tax in Nigeria, we should also know that there is a threshold. How many companies in Nigeria pay up to 35? We say minimum wage is 35. So if you're paying anybody less than 35,000, the person is not supposed to pay tax. At the end of the tax year, the person is supposed to have money from the government to balance the person's need. So there are so many people that are not even supposed to be paying tax in that country. Government is supposed to be giving them money. Because how many companies pay people up to 35,000? These are the questions we ask. Check all the schools. How much do they pay their teachers?
Thank you, Mr. Austin. Okay, I'm going to swing this thing around now. So I will start with Dan, then we'll go to Wale, then Soji, then I'm going to swing it around. The topic is, oh, foolish Nigerians in diaspora who have bewitched you not to obey the truth. Now, I took that topic from Galatians, the book of Galatians, where Paul addressed the Galatians, oh, you foolish Galatians, who have bewitched you not to obey the truth. So let's argue that what Aisha said is the truth. Now, like I said, she's not being insultive to anyone, but how practicable that will be to bring about the change, the desired change we want in that country. So here is it, Dan. How do we push for this? For diasporans to stop sending money home. If that is the truth, we are arguing that that is the truth, I beg your pardon. How do we push for this? Because irrespective, let's look at it this way. You're sending money to your family, okay? You don't know what they are doing with it most of the time. For food, for clothing, for health, for anything. Yes, like what Austin said, or what somebody said, we don't get profit from it. They don't remit anything back to us. We send to them. So how do we implement this truth? How do we do that?
Electricity. Or let me call you Andrew now that I know your name. Let me just tell you something. You see, Nigeria, don't forget we are a society that we don't have a common goal. We are so divided in our thinking, in our mind, in our belief, in our religion, in whatever thing we do. As we are talking about this now, there are some people who say, we'll be telling you, that is what some people will just be telling us right now. What are these people talking? My mama will do this for me. I've been my brother will go and finish university. So that is the reason why we say, that's why I after checking, me and my man, before I say something, I don't check tire. I don't calculate. I don't listen. I don't see many people before I come out and say, the only solution to Nigeria is what Shore holds. And I agree with him. Revolution. And not revolution. No, now. So that the things, because Nigerians don't agree.
Dan, hold on. This thing, we're arguing that it's going to trigger revolution if we stop. Okay. How do we go about to implement this thing?
Yeah, I'm just laying a foundation that it will not be possible.
Lay the foundation very well.
Yeah, it will be possible because of different ideas. And this is why these politicians are really eating us deep and nothing is happening. We will not agree. When the point is well said. To change Nigeria, to bring us to that revolution, we have to stop sending money so that the politicians will break. But when you put it out to Nigerians in diaspora, out of 100% of Nigerian diaspora, maybe only 5% will agree. The rest will not agree on different grounds. They will give you different of their own personal excuse. Because when you say, how can it happen? For me, it's a dream, and we are in a dream for it to happen. Because Nigerians will never change anything, even for 1 month. Just tell them, let's stop for just 2 months and see. As there's people, if you force them, they will say, okay. The next day, they wire it to their people. So it's not going to happen anyway. Let me just don't waste people's time here. So another person might have an option. But for me, it can't happen.
Okay, Mr. Wale, Dan said it can happen. So that means we are back to square one. What do you think? Do you agree with that?
I agree with everything my brother Dan said. Though. I agree with everything. You see, bro, you and I, you saw it also. Pastor Andrew, you saw it also. You went through the military regime. Most of the infrastructures built in Nigeria today, and most of the projects that the civilians have been chasing ever since they have been in power, we can go on the internet and we'll be tired of seeing yes, it was power tussle that made the whole military regimes a mess. I'm telling you, Nigeria needs iron hand. And that iron hand will never come through a democratical setup. Never. We are Africans. Democracy has not even worked in the oldest democracy. Was the election in America not rigged, the last election? Was Biden actually the person who won the election? I went to bed in the night, Trump was leading with a landslide, and the next morning, Biden was president. So we have to be really honest about what is actually going on. We're talking about Nigerians, a Nigerian generation who have continued in the destruction that have been brought upon us as a people. Kingdoms ruled in ancient Africa, and they built the greatest civilizations of the world without all these democratical setups and politicians and etc. So I believe the revolution is a way, is the only way out. But not about stopping the money or the money flow from the diaspora to Nigeria, I will tell you I have mixed feelings, because we don't want our people to suffer, but sometimes we have to sacrifice something for this revolution. You send money to Nigerians, and what do they do with the money? Some of them, they party with the money. Some of them party with the money. You are hearing of Nigerians spending. Okay, I agree with my other brother. I do not have his name in my mind. But when he said, when he talked about, I'm trying to remember now. It was also in the line of not blaming religion, if I'm right, of not putting the blame on religion. But let me tell you something. In this time and age, most Africans, not most Africans, but many Africans are waking up to understand the destruction religions have brought upon us as a people. And unless we agree, unless we see to, you see, that's why I keep saying that I hope, Pastor Inkro, that we are going to come to that where I can present my case in respect to African spirituality, one, and what Africa was and what religion is doing, and then our ancient history. Until the so-called Nigerians know who their ancestors were, we'll continue to have these discussions even after our death. Our children will be having this forum talking about whether Islam is the way, whether Jesus is the way. Okay. My last sentence. Africans, remember, built the greatest civilizations in the whole world without Christianity and without Islam. I'm done.
All right, thank you. I will come back to you. I left something on the page deliberately on the system there. Soji, how do we implement this? Do you agree with Dan and Mr. Wale that it is not possible?
I have a lot of agreement with both Dan and our brother Wale. However, it's the perspective. There's perspection, and then there's problem solving. When I look at Nigeria, I know it can work, and I know how important it is for Nigeria to work. I also know of the various and varying peoples that we have in the nation. Some people are completely different at opposite ends of the poles. Having said that, without operating some level of true federalism, the country would never work. Never, ever. You see, we complain a lot about tribalism. I don't follow those people complaining about that. I want to not swear, but I want to use harder language. I don't follow them. Those people that say that we shouldn't be who we are. If you don't want to be who you are, then you become whatever else you want to become. Me, as a Yoruba man, I stand as a Yoruba man. He who doesn't want to stand with their tribe and with their own history, let them. I don't know what I become a bit annoyed at this issue, because somebody would suggest that I'm a Nigerian before I'm who I was before Oyinbo people came. That person for me is completely and utterly lost. And they are our problem. You are our problem. Who says I should divorce myself from who I am to become an entity that I know nothing of? I don't follow you. I know, as Wale rightly said, we are people who have built real deep societies, and they come from our very innards. They don't come from all that we see in the outside, or they come from the very innards that we have in order to cause our tradition and our culture. Without this, you see, we are so weak in this world. We can't. Nigeria cannot be represented by somebody who calls themselves singularly a Nigerian. I'm afraid it can't be. Who are you representing? Because most Nigerians don't agree with Nigeria. But however, if you tell a proper Igbo man to divorce himself from being that Igbo man, he will tell you to go straight to hell and make sure you stay there. And for me, I agree with that position, because I really can't fathom how you can be a Nigerian without being the persons of your history. I don't know how you achieve that. So, Mio, when I look at can Nigeria work, even under this so-called democracy that we aspect, I say yes, it can work. Give us true federalism. I can tell you this, guaranteed, no mucking about. If Yoruba land was to operate its own government, and then from the way we operate, we now pay into the center, Abuja, and what we are able to produce, we give a certain share into Abuja, and every other nation is doing that in that place called Nigeria, the country would work. But if I want to take a trip to Sokoto, I would know by the time I reach Sokoto, I'm entering into a Hausa climate, and I would enjoy Sokoto under the Hausa climate. But if you are coming to Akure and you're coming to meet me where I am, and you're not entering into the Yoruba spirit, you can go far away, for want of a better expletive. You can go as far away as possible. So I put it to you people that don't know who you are and are ready to relinquish yourself to become one kind strange Oyumbo black person. Because the Nigerian is the most strange individual. If you really look at us as Nigerians, we are some strange type of people where there's no kind of people like us in the whole planet. We're strangers hell. And it needs to be admitted that we don't function as a normal functioning human being. We function in this aspect of, I don't even know the word to call it. All I'm putting to you, my brother, I know more and I understand more about being Yoruba than I understand about being a Nigerian. I want to pay into this Nigerian thing. I want to believe in this Nigerian project. Don't get me wrong. The powers that are in Igbo land, the powers that are in the whole of the Delta peoples, the power that is in the middle belt, the powers that are in the north, I want to engage with these people. Why? Because they're Africans. And if we make Nigeria work from the African cultures that we hold, my brother, the whole of Africa and the whole of black people is solved. The issue will be solved. Be who you are. Don't come in with me with this broken back, telling me that you're a Nigerian and you have a broken back. Stand straight, my friend. Will you stand straight? I don't know why we muck around with flim-flam education, flim-flam utterances that make us seem as though we're intelligent and we're forward-thinking. You're a dunce, a 10-stone dunce, if you tell me to be a Nigerian before I'm a Yoruba man. The Yoruba or Duduwa, who we are, is thousands of years old. This thing that turned up the other day, you're telling me to appreciate more than my brother. That's my position. I thank you.
Thank Thank you, Soji. I kind thank you, Soji. Actually, it would be crazy for somebody to say, forget who you are and be somebody else. That is madness. Anyone who suggested that, you have to identify with you. Mr. Austin, I'm going to skip you on this one. The reason why I want to skip you, I want to go to this issue that this man, this person highlighted, which I have taken off the screen, where he said they're spending millions. If you want to go to pilgrimage, go by yourself, which I believe everybody agree with. I want to lay foundation because this issue of religion and how it has affected or claim has affected our society. But let me throw something before you all. Agree or disagree? Equity, accountability, transparency, fairness. Is it a religion thing or something that is expected in every aspect of our life?
Thank you. No,
it's a question. I want everybody to answer briefly, then I'll come to you. I'm going to take it again. No,
okay.
Let me highlight something. It will give us a better understanding of what I am saying. Let me take this one out first. I'll come back to you. Then, and now I like this. One thing is missing there that we are not saying there. I believe this is what we wanting our system to look like. Here it is. You're not saying me, I'm not saying consensus-oriented, accountable, participatory, follow the rule of law, transparent, effective, and efficient, equitable, and there's one thing missing there, and responsive. Okay, is this thing a religious thing or something that should be across board? So your video is upside down, sideways. Is it a religious thing, please?
So who do you want to go first?
Anybody can go first. Yes, no, yes.
Austin, go. He's next now.
No, I will.
I'm asking everyone a question.
Yeah, you just asking a question.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, okay. If you want, let me jump in first because I'm always very brief. For me,
no, it's a yes. It's a yes or no answer. Not
okay. For me, it's not a religious thing. It's normal. Yeah.
Okay. Mr. Wale, is it a religious thing or not a religious thing? Please.
I cannot answer directly. I'm a Yoruba man.
Okay. You are pleading the fifth.
But I would say, you see,
is it a religious thing or not a religious thing?
I would say yes, but please let me get this sentence out. And it's something I already wrote in the chart. And I hope that I can drop some few hints on this alone.
We'll come to that. You've already pleaded the Fifth Amendment, even though it's not applicable where we are. So let me go to Soji. Soji, is it a religious thing or not?
I will put it to you like this, in the yes or no that you want. I don't like the word religion, and I say that purposely for the intellectualization of your question. When we come to the point of religion, it is not tradition that we are speaking about. When we come to the point of religion, it is not faith that we are speaking about. When we come to the point of religion, sir, it is the position of control. And if you enter into a place where you are allowing some other entity to control you, it's an immediate no for me.
Okay. So I'm going to come to this now before I will not give the floor to Austin. He has shown you, O mortal, what is good and what does, I deleted some part, require of you to act justly and to love mercy and to walk humbly. To act justly, which is carrying out your duties as respected, and to love mercy. In the case of Nigeria, we know there's lack of mercy from our leaders or whatever it is, because if there is mercy, they will not put us in the state we are. And to walk humbly. I believe we all associate or identify with this. So, Mr. Austin,
Yeah.
someone said this in the comments. Religion is supposed to be our political, economical, nationalistic, and patriarchal vanguard. It's supposed to be our political, economical, nationalistic, and patriarchal vanguard in terms of fairness, equity, transparency, accountability. Is that the problem in our society, or that has caused problem in our society? I know Soji said he doesn't want to use the word religion. We acknowledge that. But is he the one responsible? We're laying the foundation because we're going to run a broadcast on this religion thing maybe next week. I'll bring Mr. Wale in. Everybody come with your encyclopedia and books and everything on religion that you have.
Yeah, thank you. To be candid with you, that statement is a true or fact. But the problem, so the answer is, the question you asked, the answer is yes. So, but the problem we have is bastardization of the word. Now, people are telling you, stay away from religion. They are going to African traditional religion. I don't know anywhere else where these moralities are domiciled, if not in religion. Now, when you talk about religion, as a Yoruba person, you have a religion in that culture. When you talk about religion, so the only thing that extols me in the Western religion is not just the religion, but the education that came along with it. So the problem we have is the application of education. Education gives you the power to be articulate, to use your brain, to be able to bring something, not to the abstract, but to the here and now. What is my relationship with God has to reflect in my relationship with the society. But politicians are taking those actual tenets of religion away, and they keep showing us the other negativity of religion. That I am a priest, I am a Catholic priest, does not in any way give me the authority to walk down on you, on your own personality. But education will keep you to always be careful of what you believe and what you do, to always be originator of your own principles. And these are the things, and that's why I find it difficult to argue on religion, because there is nothing wrong with it. It is the use of it that and people keep using it in a wrong way. Within the course of history, they keep using it in the wrong way, but it has positive tenets. It gave me the opportunity to study philosophy. And what does philosophy give me? To be rational. And what can you do when you use your rational self in every decision you make? So, to go back to what we were discussing, I mean, Jagun, I've firmly believed and took your position. I can easily say insert your position to be my own position. That as a country, there is nothing wrong in being whom you are. I am a proud Igbo man. And what makes Igbo man proud? When you identify me as an Igbo man, I will welcome you no matter where you come from. Nice. For me, an Igbo man, to go to Yoruba land and say, hey, I'm a Nigerian, this is my property, you have to vacate. It also, it is insulting. And for somebody like a Yoruba man say, hey, I'm a Nigerian, get away from your yard, it's insulting. The thing that politicians have failed, they know the truth. They know that through federalism will put them out of the board. If you practice through, look at when we had through federalism, the best were put forward. They know the Yoruba people will authentically say, if Yoruba is to present somebody to come and contest in Nigeria as a globe, they will use the same people they are using now. The Igbo people are aware that if you ask Igbo, go and bring your best, the guys in the National Assembly will not be our representatives. So if we go back to true federalism, all these things, and when you say that Nigeria is not workable, Nigeria is seriously workable. It is easy. Nigeria is one of the easiest countries to govern, because to win the heart of the masses is you just need to put little thing. What is Oti doing in Abia State that everybody is praising him? What is he doing that is extraordinary? Is he going on bike? So it is easy to govern Nigerians. Come here, come to the Western world. You see governors staying in queue to take their own food. Nobody is even recognizing that. Let somebody try it in Nigeria. You will see that the whole street will close up for that governor. So it is easy to govern Nigeria. The only problem we have is we don't have patriotic leaders. We don't have leaders that see the common tomorrow. They see their individualistic tomorrow. And they still, because of poverty mentality, though that they steal this money, they are still afraid that something will happen tomorrow and they become poor.
Thank you, Austin. The floor is yours, Dan, going around all over again.
You know, bro, when you talk about, you know, this religion issue, which is almost what we are now based upon now, or trying to find. For me, if religion, there's nothing wrong with religion, because I believe in the 10 Commandments. It's not possible to keep all of them. But if you can manage those 10 Commandments and take the ones that you can manage to keep, that is religion for me.
Sorry, Dan, sorry. Let me just ask you a question. We've had this is personal. If you feel, you can just ignore it or you talk about it. Your dada, does it have anything to do with religion?
Yes, to some people, yes.
Good. So that's the point. That's the point I want you to understand. So it's not religion from abstract mindset. That's the point I'm looking at religion. Thank you.
Okay. So when we talk about religion, like I was trying to say, that 10 Commandments, when we talk about, I'm a Christian, we want to talk about religion now. For me, I cannot remember the last time I went to church. I left there very angry, because the guy who we came to, the man, the pastor that day, was only talking about money. I was waiting to, when is he going to read the sermon? I didn't hear the sermon. It was one money problem, donate this, the church want to do that, pay as you can get. I hope you please pass the tithe paper. That was what I had almost. And I got angry. Even the sermon, let him repeat one sermon that I used to know. I didn't hear it. So for me, when we talk about this, our Nigeria, because we are all here because of what is happening in Nigeria, the system of what religious people are doing to Nigeria is like they work hand in hand with the politicians. Because when the politicians makes us angry, instead of us to rise up, the religious man will tell you, keep praying, it will be better. And they will make sure that their people will not oppose that government. They will never come out one day, all this trouble we are having in Nigeria. How many religious pastor has come out and tell us, no, God did not approve this. Let us go and even lead any protest. How many of them, apart from Bishop Kuka, who comes up to argue sometimes? The man is even tired of talking. So I think he just relaxed. But all of these new pastors who are the rich ones, who control Nigeria as of today, how many of them have built one factory in Nigeria? Winners Chapel, do they have a factory? Redeemed Church, have they have any factory even to produce candles they use? Do they have one? All they have is universities. Who are they building universities for? For the politicians who can afford it. Even the people they use to build those universities, they cannot even afford it. So when we talk of religion, I'm always very careful, because religion is religion. For me, religion is 10 Commandments. Do good. Don't allow what you don't want for yourself. Don't do it for your neighbor. This is what is religion to me. Any other thing they are talking about is not religion. Then when religion now, apply it in Nigerian sense, my brother, they are the worst. In fact, for me, they are the most terrible problem Nigeria has. And they have to we have to do something about it, to be honest, Andrew. Thank you.
Thank you. This is the summary, what Dan just said. This is the summary of the 10 Commandments, which I highlighted. Dan, thanks for that. That's important argument. He has shown you, O mortal, what is good and what is required of you. To act justly, that means do good to your fellow mankind and etc. Now, like I said, this is a foundation. I will run this program again. I have to step away. I did not expect to stay this long, but I will run this program again because I want us to have this at the back of our mind. Our leaders come from different backgrounds. Christian, Muslims, atheists, whatever you can think of. They are not the ordinary one walking on the streets. These are the leaders are the one to implement whatever policies and everything. So we'll look at it in line with what Dan's last argument is. Gentlemen, thank you for joining this
No,
broadcast.
Pastor Yinklo, now it's not my turn now.
I have to step out because I have an appointment to catch.
Okay.
And please, it's not that I love to continue, but I have to step away because
thank you for coming in anyway. I always enjoy you when you are here.
Appreciate you.
I called you, I flashed you, Mr. Wale, so that was my number. I used to flash.
Yes,
we will talk again. So thank you very much and have a lovely